All right, here's check day 2. First stop. Nasty day. It's raining. Jake just caught a possum back up there. Justin said here we're in a high risk, high theft area, possibly a high theft area. So we're just using some inexpensive traps. This is a 1.75 Victor, and I mean that's what you get when you use that stuff. Or traps of maybe a little bit lesser strength or power when you're dealing with these coyotes. So here we got a trap with the jaw popped out. So I guess you just got to weigh it out, whether what risk you want to take in terms of losing traps or catching animals. So sometimes it comes back to bite you. Hey, 9th trap, 2nd day, still raining, of course. This is definitely a bright spot. So here, 2 days in a row, 2nd cat, awesome. But definitely brightens up this day. So pretty cool.
Just a little interview. What are we eating for lunch?
Got some salami, some cheese sticks, which I've already eaten dozens of them, seems like.
A couple bottles of water and some chips.
Cream soda.
All right, here's check day 2, lunchtime update. Nothing else happened. We caught the one bobcat this morning. Still raining. We got the camera in the truck to keep it dry, and we're standing out here like 3 fools in the rain eating lunch. So that's where it's at, and we're going to muddle through the rest of the afternoon. We'll get some more sets in, just deal with the rain, deal with the weather best we can. So gotta hang in there, see what happens.
Sandwich is getting wet.
Soggy dough bread.
That's nasty, soggy dough bread. All right, when the weather that you saw us trapping in Arkansas, all of us are used to that, particularly here in the Midwest. Season opens up, it starts raining and then freezing, and it's nasty, and you got that freezing and thawing. And as you saw in the video, that snow starts melting, and then it starts raining. Ideally, if you were at home and you could wait a day or two, then that's probably the thing to do. But we're on a very short period of time, so we got to try the best we can to just trap on through it. But anyways, in those conditions, there's trap covers that can withstand that kind of weather better than just sifting just plain dirt back on your saddle, or even carrying dry dirt in, which just absorbs more moisture. We're big on using these cover holes as a trap cover, and most of you are familiar with these, but basically it's the chaff off of buckwheat seed. It's got a kind of a natural wax to it. Even if they're damp or wet, they won't freeze. If they do freeze just a little bit crusty, they still break apart very easily. So when the animal steps on the set, then the trap will still fire. One thing, if these are literally standing in water and it got very cold, that's just going to turn into an ice cube with buckwheat holes in it. So in those instances, I don't know of anything to help you other than to get up on higher ground and try to get in an area where it's not going to puddle. But sometimes there's just nothing you can do about that. Another option that you have is peat moss, and it's more reasonable in price than this. It's more likely to freeze when it's damp, but it's still an excellent cover, and it's lightweight to carry around. When we're trapping, I'm going to do a demo here in just a minute, and I got it in bags. But we'll just keep this stuff in buckets. And keep the lids on the buckets, and that way it won't blow out, and you can use both of those for covers. Another cover, which was years ago, Matt Jones started this, was just dry grass clippings. So when you mow the lawn and the grass dries, just rake it up and store some of that back for situations when it's just incredibly wet, incredibly soupy, muddy mess, to keep your traps working. So that's the whole thing that you're fighting in this kind of weather, is just keep those traps functioning to their best capability under less than ideal conditions. So one thing too, you know, we're big on dirt hole sets, but there are occasions when, you know, if it's raining or melting that much and you're maybe possibly on some lower ground than what you ideally ought to be, but you know, you want to make a set there, I would go with a flat set. That way there's no hole that can fill up with water. So basically you just got your trap bed, and you know, you can ask 12 trappers and you're gonna get 12 different ideas on making flat sets, but the big thing is just to get that trap in the ground, basically level with the natural grade of the ground and work off of that. We're just gonna kind of rush whip this out. Don't do that. Ideally, I mean, this right now, it's summertime, and sometimes we don't get these segments filmed when we're actually out on the line. But you know, if the dirt was truly like this, you would just sift it. You wouldn't have to worry about it. But so we're just going to make a trap bed. And we would stake right below it. I'm not going to stake this just for the sake of the demonstration, but now try to get your trap bedded as best as possible. Pin level. Try to take the wobble out of it. You could actually use your chain as part of your stabling to stabilize that trap so that it won't rock. You've kind of got, we're going to take this dirt out of here, but kind of got the option of 3 different covers. And like I said, in a trapping segment or a actual trapping scenario, we wouldn't put our stuff in plastic bags. We would just use buckets and carry that in. Now the peat moss, I'm going to use that first. That, I would sift it. You can put it on directly without sifting it, but there are quite a few roots and impurities in there, so I would sift it, and that just, you know, increases your chances of the trap functioning properly and not having something that's going to mess it up. Now there's several trains of thoughts on flat sets. Sometimes when you make a flat set, you don't want it to even look like there's dirt dug. And then there's flat sets where you've got dirt exposed. Now, basically we're pretty flat here, level with the ground. This is, you know, this is going to withstand weather. We don't have a hole that's going to fill up with water. One thing you can do here is you can blend this in a little bit more and get rid of that more dug dirt look. You just take some of this dry grass, and just kind of spread that around. Like so, and then you got a little bit more of a blended looking set. Personally, if we make flat sets, generally we do have the dirt exposed, but this will work just fine too. Put your bait up underneath here, a little bit of coal lure in the set, and spray some urine right here, and you're good to go. And that with your bait under here, and maybe your lure up in here, or maybe even additional lure, which would be kind of on the same level as your bait, At least you have a different smell there and then your urine there. And this right here would help protect your bait and lure from getting washed out by the water. So that's one option that we've got for this kind of weather. The other one, let's trap out of here. Would be cover holes, which, like I said, we're big on using those, but they do get a little expensive. So that's one thing nice about the peat moss option. Get your trap bedded in again. Put your pan cover on. You get your buckwheat hulls. These don't need to be sifted. These are the most foolproof in terms of freezing weather conditions when it's wet out. Here again, we're pretty much level. A couple things you can do. Some people really get bothered by the look of cover holes, buckwheat holes. The animal may shy away from it or whatever because they don't look completely natural. You know, if that really bothers you, you can take a little bit of dirt that's in the area and sift on. You can take a little bit of peat moss and blend that in like that. That's the original dry dirt. Blend that like that, and then you're good to go. One thing too, if it's really windy out, the buckwheat hulls will want to blow off the set, so that dry dirt helps hold those on there. All right, one thing too, you got to remember, I mean, this is summertime. We're filming this, you know, it's August. So the grass is really, really green. The weeds, what little grass is here. So in the wintertime, this is going to blend a lot better. It's not going to be quite, the grass is not going to be this green and this bright. And so, you know, this scenario right here is going to definitely blend better. One thing too, the dry grass. Get your trap bedded. And you just go dry grass over as your cover. Now, 100% dry grass is okay. I think the others are probably a little bit better, but this definitely works. It definitely won't freeze. And but I think worst, you know, if that's all you have available, that's definitely an option. You know, bobcat, obviously, he has no problem stepping on that. A coyote might shy away from it because it's got quite a bit of spring here. But anyways, this scenario with this dry grass will definitely work as a cover. You know, a lot of guys say, shoot, the weather's bad, I'm not even going to trap. Well, you know, or how do you trap? Or maybe this stuff's going to scare animals away or whatever. You know, this will keep you going. All three of these options keep you going when everybody else is sitting at home on the couch. So you can't catch fur unless you got traps set. And if the traps aren't functioning, you can't catch fur either. So these three options are definitely something that will keep you going in bad weather. There are the other options. There's waxed dirt, which is fine, but it's heavy to carry around. It's kind of a job to make. Melting wax and mixing it with dry dirt. You can always carry dry dirt in too, but as soon as the sun comes out and there's moisture coming up from the ground, that dry dirt will absorb moisture also. So, you know, the thing is just, you know, to find what works best for you. But here's definitely two options, and then the third option being the dry grass for keep you going in bad weather. So anyways, give those a try and that'll get you through that rough weather.